US and Britain launch strikes against targets in Houthi-controlled Yemen.
This post received a score of 5,600, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
And so it begins. Makes sense now why they waited a while. They probably were analyzing them closely to hit them harder and eavesdrop on their communications.
They don't make rash decisions. The US gets a lot of flack, but they are pretty good at putting warheads on foreheads. They came up with a plan and put the assets in place to delete people from the earth. Freedom is coming.
I'm stealing warheads on foreheads? Cheers, mate. Courtesy of the Fat Electrician. Edit. He didn't come up with this. You know what they say about making assumptions.
That's been around a long time. It was in common use 13 years ago when I enlisted.
We were using that saying in the USMC when I was in.
Ancient Egyptians would say it in English with an East Coast accent as they mounted their chariots.
Ha, you learn something new every day.
I read it on the internet. It must be true.
The Houthis can hardly be surprised by this. They've been aggravating the situation for a while now.
They're definitely not. The whole goal of their attacks is to elicit a response.
I know I'm going to regret saying this because it's going to cause a flame war in the comments, but Hamas literally did the exact same thing. The only difference being the attacks weren't occurring on the busiest shipping lane in the world and didn't represent the manifestation of 80 years of animosity between the two sides.
I tend to agree with you on this. Hamas saw Israel normalizing relations with other Arab nations and thought they could nip it in the bud. They bet wrong, it would seem.
I think that is also the Houthi strategy as well. Try to spark Arab nationalism and pan-Islamism by proving their call for jihad is justified. Unfortunately, this tendency to justify the use of violence because the end goal isn't just a noble cause, it's literally the will of God, is why fundamentalist, theocratic, authoritarian states may not be the best form of government.
More like Iran didn't want normalized relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel. In both cases Iran armed, funded and let's be honest gave the orders to start with the chaos. The lives of the civilians in Gaza and now Yemen are meaningless to Iran so long as they serve their purpose.
I don't think the Houthis or Hamas care about the geopolitical impact of their action and how it affects Iran. Iran just chooses to fund them because they are a cost-effective way to destabilize rival nations. Any civil war in other Muslim nations is good for Iran because of how isolated they are geopolitically. They just need to start sending the most radical organizations within those repressed minority groups and wait for the chaos that follows.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.